Many people think that a famous person's life is nothing but luxury and parties, but the truth is that not even they escape tragedies. Several well-known artists lost their lives unexpectedly in car accidents surrounded by mysteries, and that is exactly what you will see here today. So go ahead and hit that like button, click the subscribe button below, and let's get started. Ryan Dunn was one of the most recognizable figures from the show Jackass, that reality series which was hugely popular in the 2000s and became famous for showing a group of friends doing the craziest and most dangerous things possible. Anyone who watched knew to expect a lot of pranks, falls, injuries, and absurd challenges. In addition to Jackass, Ryan also appeared on Viva La Bam, another show of the same style, and showed up in some related films, always with that edgy and alternative humor. On the 20th of June 2011, Ryan Dunn died in a car accident in West Goshen, Pennsylvania, United States. He was driving a Porsche 911 GT3 with his friend Zachary Hartwell, who also worked as a production assistant on Jackass. According to investigations, Ryan was traveling at high speed when he lost control of the car and crashed into a tree. The impact was so severe that the vehicle fired and both died instantly. A few hours before the accident, Ryan had posted a photo on his social media showing that he was at a bar with Hartwell drinking. After the tragedy, tests revealed that his blood alcohol level was above the legal limit, which may have contributed to the accident. Ryan's death shocked his fans and friends, especially the Jackass crew, who always spoke about how fun, brave, and loyal he was. To this day, he is fondly remembered by fans and sorely missed in the productions that marked a generation. Dale Earnhardt was one of the greatest names in motorsport, especially in NASCAR. Born in 1951, he was known as the Intimidator, standing out with his aggressive style and skill on the track, winning 7 NASCAR championships, which places him at the top of the sport's history, alongside Richard Petty and Jimmy Johnson. Dale Earnhardt's death in 2001 was a shock to the sports world. The accident occurred on the last lap of the Daytona 500, one of the most famous and important races on the NASCAR calendar. It was the 18th of February 2001. And Earnhardt was battling for the lead in the final laps when contact from another car caused him to lose control and crash violently into the concrete wall. The impact was strong enough to cause fatal head injuries, despite his wearing a helmet and other safety gears. Earnhardt's death brought a wave of mourning, but also a lasting legacy of safety improvements in racing. After the accident, NASCAR introduced new safety protocols and equipment to protect drivers. The inclusion of the Hans device, which helps protect the head and neck, was one of the most significant measures. In addition, car structures were reinforced to minimize damage in crashes. He died doing what he loved, but his passing forced NASCAR to evolve in safety matters, something he unknowingly helped to change for future generations. Linda Lovelace was a woman who, after rising to great fame in the 1970s for her performances in adult films, became an advocate against the industry that exploited her. Her life was marked by suffering, both physical and psychological, and by her fight to overcome the trauma inflicted by her ex-husband, who forced her into that world. In 2002, Linda Lovelace died tragically after a severe car accident. In April of that year, she was driving an SUV in Denver, Colorado, United States, when she lost control of the vehicle and crashed into a utility pole. The impact was severe, causing multiple injuries to vital organs and leaving her in a coma. Linda was taken to the hospital where doctors attempted to stabilize her, but she did not survive her injuries and died on the 22nd of April 2002 at the age of 53. Linda Lovelace's death came at a time when she had already endured many hardships and was trying to move forward after years of suffering. Her premature passing brought a tragic end to a life full of highs and lows, marked by her struggle against the industry that had exploited her and her search for a new beginning. A tragedy shocked all those who followed Aylin Ferrer's life. At the age of 22, she was an up-and-coming influencer and hockey player in Argentina, always sharing her passion for the sport and her career on social media. Beloved by fans, Aylin was enjoying a wonderful phase both personally and professionally. Unfortunately, her life was cut short suddenly and tragically. In October 2024, Aylin was returning from a game in Iguazu, Misiones, Argentina, accompanied by her boyfriend. They were in a Chevrolet Prisma when a Ford EcoSport collided with them. The impact was fatal for the young woman, who did not survive her injuries despite being rushed to the hospital. Her boyfriend was also injured and remained hospitalized in critical condition. What makes this even more frightening is that the other driver did not stop to help. He fled the scene, leaving Aylin and her boyfriend at the mercy of the situation. Authorities are investigating the case, and one suspicion is that the driver was under the influence of alcohol or other substances. Aylin's loss left everyone deeply upset, and the investigation continues to bring justice for this sad case that took a young life full of promise. Anne Heche was an actress known for roles in films such as 6 Days, 7 Nights, and the remake of Psycho, but she died on the 12th of August 2022 at the age of 53 after a serious car accident in Los Angeles, California, United States. The crash occurred on the 5th of August 2022 when Anne lost control of her vehicle at high speed, crashed into a house, and caused a fire. She was pulled from the burning car but suffered severe injuries, including burns and respiratory damage, and fell into a coma. Although she was still alive when rescued, Heche did not survive her injuries. The cause of death was attributed to thermal and respiratory injuries from the fire, as well as a fracture of the sternum, the bone at the center of the chest. Anne was kept on life support for a possible organ donation, and her death was legally confirmed the following week after brain activity ceased. Throughout her life, Heche faced personal challenges such as mental health issues and difficult family dynamics, including violent and intimate abuse by her father, who died of AIDS when she was young. She wrote a book called Call Me Crazy, in which she confronted these traumas with courage. Anne Heche's death came as a shock to many and left a mark on her children, friends, and fans. She will always be remembered as a talented actress with an intense personal life and a woman who, despite adversity, always strove to live her truth. Mark Bolan was the charismatic leader of the band T-Rex and one of the greatest glam rock icons of the 1970s. Born in London, England, United Kingdom, he conquered the world with his unique presence, extravagant style, and songs that defined a generation. With hits like Ride a White Swan and Get It On, Bolan became a central figure in the music of the era, known for his charm and contagious energy. However, his promising career was tragically cut short in 1977 when he died in a car accident at the age of 29. On the 16th of September 1977, Mark Bolan was in a Mini driven by his girlfriend, singer Gloria Jones, when the car veered off the road and struck an iron post reinforced with steel before hitting a tree. The accident occurred in Barnes, a neighborhood of London, England, United Kingdom. For many years, it was believed that Bolan had died from the impact with the tree, but new revelations surfaced 35 years later, shedding new light on the tragedy. According to a biography that was released, the accident was not fatal because of the collision with the tree. Bolan suffered a fatal head injury when he was struck by an iron bolt from the safety post. The tree, initially thought to be the cause of Bolan's death, actually played a crucial role by preventing the car from plunging down an embankment, which could have made the accident even more devastating. Vicky Aram, an eyewitness who was just behind Bolan that night, described the moment of the crash in detail. She arrived quickly on the scene, where she saw the Mini on fire. Even with the car ablaze, she tried to help. Mark Bolan was found dead, and although Gloria Jones was injured, she survived. These new findings finally clarified the mystery surrounding his death, but the pain of his loss still echoes in the music world. Few stories have impacted the world as much as Princess Diana's. Even after so many years, many people still have not come to terms with what happened on the night of the 31st of August 1997. Diana, known as the People's Princess, had a different approach to royalty. While many royal family members maintained a more formal posture, she made a point of being close to people, hugging, talking, and helping those in need. Her work with AIDS patients, underprivileged children, and landmine victims showed how much she truly cared. But everything changed on that last night of August in Paris, France. That evening, Diana was with her boyfriend, Dodi Al-Fayed, and their driver, Henri Paul. They were trying to escape the paparazzi who gave them no peace. It was then that the car entered the Alma tunnel at high speed and crashed into a pillar. The collision was so severe that Dodi and Henry died instantly. Diana was taken to the hospital but succumbed to her injuries a few hours later. After the accident, the entire world was shocked. Millions of people went to Kensington Palace to leave flowers, letters, and tributes. Her funeral was watched by billions of people across the globe. Investigations revealed that the driver was drunk and had taken medication that impaired his ability to drive. Still, many have never fully believed that version. Various theories claim that Diana's death was a plot by the royal family because she was dating Dodi, who was Muslim, and that it could have tarnished the monarchy's image. In the end, what remains is the memory of a woman who enchanted the world with her beauty and connection to the people, but also the doubt that was never completely resolved. Was it truly an accident, or was there something more? If you like heavy metal, you surely know who Cliff Burton was, one of the greatest bassists, famous for joining Metallica and helping create some of the band's most important albums like Ride the Lightning and Master of Puppets. With his unique talent and style, Cliff stood out and gained a legion of fans, even though his career was brief. However, on the 27th of September 1986, his life came to an end. Metallica was touring Europe promoting the album Master of Puppets when the accident occurred. The night before, the band members drew lots to decide who would sleep in which bunk on the tour bus. Cliff drew the best lot and chose the bunk usually assigned to guitarist Kirk Hammett. No one imagined that this would be Cliff's last night. At around 7 o'clock in the morning, as the group traveled on a road near Ljungby, Sweden, the bus lost control, veered off the road, and overturned. Cliff was thrown from the window, and then the bus rolled on top of him, causing his instant death. He was only 24 years old. The image of one of metal's most promising musicians being pulled lifeless from the scene left a profound mark not only on the band, but on the music world. The bus driver stated that the vehicle skidded due to ice on the road, but fans always questioned that explanation. They claimed the weather was not cold enough to form ice and suspected the driver might have been tired or even fallen asleep at the wheel. However, nothing was officially proven and the case was closed without further investigation. Cliff Burton's death was one of the greatest losses in rock history. Even after so many years, he is fondly remembered by fans and is considered one of the greatest metal bassists ever. Steve Prefontaine was one of the most famous long-distance runners in the United States, known for his courage on the track and for breaking several American records between 2,000 and 10,000 meters. Representing the University of Oregon, he never lost a collegiate long-distance race and finished 4th in the 5,000 meters at the 1972 Olympics. His aggressive style and determination made him an icon of athletics in the 1970s, inspiring a generation of athletes with his fearless attitude and total dedication to the sport. But Prefontaine's promising career ended prematurely in the early hours of the 30th of May 1975 after participating in a charity race and celebrating with friends and fellow athletes. He was driving on a winding road in Eugene, Oregon, United States when he lost control of his car on a curve. The vehicle left the road, struck a rock, and overturned. Prefontaine was trapped beneath the car, and when rescuers arrived, he was already dead, a victim of traumatic asphyxiation caused by the position in which the car had pinched him. Steve Prefontaine's death at 24 years old left fans and athletes around the world deeply saddened. He was seen as a great hope for the 1976 Olympics and a symbol of resilience and perseverance. To this day, the site of his accident has become a pilgrimage point for fans who leave flowers and mementos in his honor. His legacy lives on through the famous Prefontaine Classic Meet, which brings together some of the best runners in the world, keeping alive the memory of an athlete who always ran with his heart. Carl Cochran was an American guitarist and vocalist, best known for his contributions to the band Kiss. He was invited several times to perform with the band, earning fans' admiration for his musical skill and stage presence. Cochran also stood out for his resilience, overcoming a severe stroke and continuing to play with passion and dedication. On the 19th of February 2025, Carl Cochran died in a car accident in New Jersey, United States at the age of 61. He was in the passenger seat of a vehicle driven by his mother when the car collided with a tree. Although he was quickly rescued and taken to the hospital, Carl did not survive his injuries and passed away shortly thereafter. The band Kiss paid tribute on social media, expressing how beloved he was, highlighting his dedication and the inspiration he provided to fans. Cochran's loss left a deep mark on the hearts of those who knew him, both for his musical career and his personal struggle. Don't forget to subscribe to watch more videos like this.